Good morning, Shavua Tov. This is Emanuel Yelizarov again, and God bless you and your families. Today I wanted to do something different. And what different? I wanted to write a video response to my man Mike Barayev, which I have tremendous respect for. You are one of your videos, latest videos, was about you and your significant other with little arguments about little things that don't matter. Anyway, so it was very cute, and to be honest, it reminded myself, and therefore I decided to write a video response. Hopefully that would help someone. Anyway, when I just got married, I have discovered so many cute, unusual things about ladies, and then I actually learned that that's the normal thing, and that was mind-boggling for me. By the way, that's why I understand you, and here we go. It was a book of Shaul Yalom, leading expert. He's psychologist. He's based in San Francisco, and he writes in his book. By the way, I heard that from Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson. You should hear his lectures. He's phenomenal about relationships. Anyway, so Shaul Yalom, he writes about one of his instances in his practice where a father and daughter did not get along from early childhood, and the father was nagging and finding faults with his daughter and was blaming her for everything, and it was very difficult childhood for this child. And sometimes, to be honest, we want to blame someone else in order to cover our faults, because it's easier to blame, it's easier to complain. Sometimes I do that, but I work on myself. So it was that case, and the daughter grows up, and she's about to get married. That's a beautiful time, and before she gets married, she said, let me fix my relationship with my father. And she decides to approach her father, and she asked him to go with her to the road trip. Obviously, he respected that, he loved the idea, and he agreed. And here we go, they're going on a road trip. She's driving, he's sitting next to her. And while driving, she wants to break ice. She opens up the window. It's a beautiful landscape. She looks out and she says, Father, my daddy, whatever it is, she says, so beautiful outside. Look at this landscape. It is really amazing. Her father just looks at his window and he says, it's actually gross. It's not nice at all. And she got it, and she says, you know what? I have decided to spend my weekend before my marriage with you, where I have so much planning to do. But you had to disagree with me again. You cannot just commit that we could just have normal conversation. You have to say something against when I wanted to fix it. What's she doing? She's just finding the first route to go back home. She goes and cries to her pillow, and that's how she gets married. So, fast forward 30 years later, she did not speak to her father all this time, and because at that crying time, she said, thank God I don't need to deal with this man ever again, with her father. So she's happily married. 30 years later, she and her husband now decide to take a road trip, and now he's sitting on the driver's seat and she's sitting next to him. Deja vu again. She did not know it's coming. Her husband opening a window, that's already, we know that scenario. He looks up the window and says, honey, so beautiful. That's really, really nice landscape. She opens her window and she sees a cesspool. She sees balota, and it was exact the same spot that she spoke to her father, and her father answered to her saying, that's actually gross, and it was gross there. So, and this is where she realized that her father was not argumentative. He was actually saying what he is seeing. this was actually his vision. That's what we saw. That's what it was. After 30 years, she realized that her father did not try to argue with her. He just shared what he sees. And why am I bringing this? In Judaism, there is a love, ahava, and echad, oneness, is having the same numerical value of 13. Ahava, love, and one is the same numerical value. It's one. To love is to be one with that person. But in relationships, there is another feeling which called respect, kavod. Respect is not necessarily having the same thing, and ahava, love and respect is not necessarily the same. Sometimes it's even an opposite. Ahava is one, respect is two different things. I'll give you an example. Respect is someone that have respect for someone that qualities he didn't have. Example is, I just visited Israel and I went to Bnei Brak and I got a blessing from my holiest man alive, to my opinion, is Rabbi Kanievsky, and I have respect for him. His tremendous Torah, his tremendous love towards Jewish people, and he still have a time to see people like me and give a blessing. So, you have good respect for your teacher, for your parent, for your child, for your spouse. Respect is very important. What is respect? Is to appreciate that other person have another window. In this case, a beautiful landscape and a growth. It doesn't mean people arguing. It means he has a different window and she has a different window. And not every disagreement should be argumentative. All we need to do is just to have a respect that it's whatever I see doesn't mean that she could see, or whatever she sees that he should see. We have to have little respect. We have to have little room, and it's okay even not to understand why ladies do those things, or why men, your husband, do certain things. That's fine. We just got out of Parsha. Zot chukat haTorah. Chukah is a law that we do not understand. Even Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, the wisest of all mankind ever, he said, I do not understand this. I cannot fathom why is it someone pure becomes impure, but someone who is pure becomes impure. It's a paradox that I cannot comprehend, which is fine. Hashem gives those things to us so we could cope with life easier. There are things you do not understand, which is fine. Moshe Rabbeinu did not understand why Hashem you're giving Torah through me, where you have such a tzaddik in the future generations. Hashem showed him all the generations, like Rabbi Akiva. Moshe said, give it through Rabbi Akiva. Hashem said, this is my decision. You will not understand. It was Aaron HaKohen. By the way, Moshe and Aaron knew about the red cow. That's why they did not bring the sacrifice of red cow. Elazar did. So Aaron HaKohen, his two sons passed, and Aaron, he did not understand what's going on, but he zipped. V'yidom Aaron. He did not argue. He just accepted the fact that Hashem took his sons. And by the way, this is side note that whenever we go to Shiv'ah, somebody passes away, don't tell them anything. We just say Baruch Dayana Emet, that Hashem did that. I do not understand why it happened. I wish it didn't, but I cannot do anything, but I'm with you. You just sit down there, you say nothing, you just show that I'm with you at this difficult moment. But if you say at least he was old, or at least she was sick and she got, now she got out of the sickness, or at least you have a nice family, or at least you have a lot of children. Don't say those things, because you're dipping, the sorrow is dipping in the hearts of the children, or spouses, or parents that lost loved one. Anyway, I'll go back to the little arguments. We have to have this, we have to be equipped with those things that though there are things we do not understand, and but we have to give respect towards our spouses or children or parents or our partners. It is a respect that you have your window and I have my window, and this is totally fine. I just wanted to finish with a beautiful insight when Yirmiyahu Hanavi, Hashem instructs him to buy a land in Yerushalayim from his cousin. That's a lot of halachot there. I'm not gonna go that deep, but Yirmiyahu does that even though he was a prophet and he knew that enemies already at the gates of Yerushalayim, they're going to destroy the city, and the value of the real estate will go down immediately. And Yirmiyahu, after buying the land with the good money, with the good price, he asked Hashem, Hashem, please, 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 I did what you said, but please explain to me, why did you ask me to buy land now? The enemies of the city, right now, the city will be destroyed. I see it in a prophecy, but you asking me to buy a land? And Hashem answers him, Hamimeni yipale kol davar. Hashem answers him, in the cool terms, he says, I got it. Is there anything beyond my control? Everything is under control of Hashem. Anyway, love your videos. Have a lot of respect towards you because you have such a great audacity. And continue with the great, great videos. God bless. Have less arguments, and it's okay not to understand sometimes each other. We have to love, but sometimes we need to give respect and appreciate that there is another window that our spouse looks at, and it's not necessarily should be the same as mine, and it's not necessarily means that she disagrees with me. It means she doesn't like me, or I disagree with her, I don't like her. We have to appreciate that not every disagreement should be argumentative, and there are two different windows. Thank you very much and have a blessed week.